Martin Guettler. Oh, please, help me. Help me, I'm holding the microphone. That's my excuse for not clapping. But I know you are available to help me. So, next we have Abdallah Mashoud. He is from the ACRR. He will do our presentation later in the day. I don't like introducing women last, but it looks as if I have been pushed in a place where I don't have a choice but to do that. So I say last, but by no means the least, is Victoria Artigo, and she is the chairperson, or rather a board member of Chamber of Corporate Trustees. And so we're grateful to have all of you grace our high table. And at this time, we want to jump into business. And I didn't say this, but I'm going to say this now. Dr. Odum is chairing because the original chair had an emergency. So we're grateful that you're doing this at short notice. Please, let's appreciate him. Let's put our hands together for him. Right. Okay, so at this juncture, I'm going to hand the microphone over to you for your remarks, Dr. Odum. As I do, let's put our hands together for Dr. Odum.
Good morning, everyone. And thank you, moderator, for the introduction, the kind introduction. Somebody just said that pension business is everybody's business. And we at ACR are interested in making sure that the pension system in Ghana is fair and available to everybody. So today, what we are trying to do is to find a way to make sure that all pensioners are treated fairly when it comes to a particular item, which is the indexation, which I'm sure most pensioners wait for at the end of the year, because at every January, there's an increase in the pensions, and the way it is done is what we call the indexation. UCR has the ability to research into indexation and had come out with another model which we want to discuss with stakeholders and see whether it is a more viable option to adopt for the pension system. So I will not waste too much time. We'll have to let the program go on because we started a bit late. And at the end of the day, I will also make my remarks as the chairman of ACR, and also we'll talk about other things after the presentations have been made. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Doc. We're grateful that you could share. We're grateful for your opening remarks. And so, without further ado, your turn, Mr. Martin Guettler, FES Country Director. Please, let's put our hands together for him. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for this kind introduction, and good morning from my side. And welcome in the name of the Friedrich Ebert Foundation, Ghana. So I'm not like a big guy on numbers. So when I read the report, many things I don't really understand, because I'm not an economic person. I'm a political advisor. So, like politicians don't really understand numbers. So you have to, tell them and explain them to them. So, and that's why we are here actually, to take this report and discuss this, explain like the questions that we have, and then work on it again and let all your inputs influence the outcome of it, and how we also proceed with this report to do political advisory work. Because this is, of course, the goal of the whole report. How can we advise politicians to make decisions on the pension indexation? And you know that we are a German foundation, so I grew up in Germany, and I know, of course, the discussion we have in Germany about the pension system. And we're not having it only today or the last years, we're having it since the 1990s. Because then there was a shift in Germany in the growth of the population. So before then, you could say that Germany was a growing population with more younger people than older people. But that has changed since then. So nowadays, we have much more older people in the society than younger. So it used to be that 3 working people paid 1 pension. Now it's that one working person pays 3 pensions, you know, and that's the problem. So it's a bit different than what you have in Ghana, of course, because you are a young society with a lot of young people and less older people, so you're still a growing society. So your challenges are different than the ones we have in Germany. But I think that we can still learn from each other and learn from our different systems that we have, how to index pensions, how to, you know, like what our systems look like. And another thing, though, what really struck me was that one similarity that we have, that you have in Ghana and we have in Germany, is the inequality in the pension system. So this is something that we also face a lot. You have pensions that are very high, and you have pensions that are really low. And the ones that are really low are the majority, also in Germany. So there's many, many people living almost in comparison on the poverty line or under the poverty line that we have in Germany, where you're like, you know, when you look at all the costs that you have for living, you're considered poor. We have a lot of people living at that edge, especially women, because women in Western Germany, it's different in the East. You know, Germany was separated until like 1990. Women in the East were working, so their pensions look a bit better. But women in Western Germany were not working. They were housewives. Their husbands were working. So we have a lot of problems with poverty amongst elderly women who receive the minimum pension. And that's, of course, a big inequality in our system. And also, like people that worked long in the, let's say, in the public service, they get better pensions than people that worked in the factories and elsewhere. So the inequalities in the systems, that's actually where I see like a lot of similarities. And I'm really grateful for this report, because I think we can look at it and also learn from your experiences here in Ghana and what the suggestions are to, you know, like to improve the pension system. And I think this is actually the great thing that we do as Friedrich Ebert Foundation, and where I'm really thankful that we are able to do it, is to be in other countries and learn from their experiences and exchange those experiences with our political partners in Germany and try to find the best solution with all the experiences from around the world. And I think this is also why we're doing this today, and why we invited so many stakeholders to look at this report, but also get your input on it and try to improve the report afterwards. So I hope we have a fruitful discussion today. I'm really thankful that you all came to it, and I hope the report will get a lot of input from you. Thank you very much for coming, and have a great discussion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Guettler, FES Country Director. You know, you said you have big inequalities in Germany, but here the inequalities are yawning. Some of us are preparing for pension, and when you look at what you're going to take, I mean, you wish, so why did I stay around? I mean, if this is what is going to happen, I am just waiting to hear this proposed alternative pension indexation model. And I'm sure it will help all of us. I believe that most of us have also heard about the Act 766 and some of the challenges it has started presenting, or they were embedded in there, but it was only the practice that made it visible. So I am just dying to hear this. I'm supposed to introduce the institutions represented, but we will wait for more of our colleagues and friends to join us, then we can do that along the program. So may I also ask you, your recording there. Thank you, sir, for agreeing to come to the front. So those who are recording want to be at the back. So, Dr. Odum, I see again that you need to do a presentation. So I am going to ask you humbly to come to our rostrum here so that you can do that presentation for us. Please, let's put our hands together and appreciate Dr. Odum as he walks to the microphone. Thank you very much.
term financial sustainability of the first-year scheme, that's the SSNIT scheme, and the role of pension indexation. First of all, on behalf of the Advisory Board of the Africa Center for Retirement Research and myself, I wish to thank the Frederick Ebert Stefan, that is FES, for the support it has given and continue to give the Africa Center for Retirement Research, especially Mr. Martin Guettler for accommodating us and providing the financial support to make the work we are about to present possible. Thank you, Country Director of FES, Mr. Martin Guettler. The African Center for Retirement Research is a not-for-profit research entity which does independent research and proffers policy solutions. The center's interest is in advancing public legitimate good by providing useful input to national policy dialogue on the subject of social security, social protection, retirement, and pension through quality research. In the past, the African Center for Retirement Research had made input on several issues involving social security in Ghana. Two notable examples are review of the previous actuarial valuations of the SSNIT scheme, and that generated a lot of discussion in the public domain. And the second one is a review of the National Pension Act at 2008 at 766 after its operating for 10 years. The review was a collaborative effort with the Trade Union Congress. The report was elaborate, and Trade Union Congress is supposed to publish the results one of these days. And that will be a lot of good information for all of us to know the state of our Act 766 after 10 years of operations. Pension provision in Ghana has gone through a lot of changes over the years. Currently, the three-tiered pension scheme seems the right way to go, albeit with some challenges. If we take, for example, the first-year scheme provided by SSNIT, that is the Basic National Social Security Scheme, it is expected to provide a certain minimum floor of benefit that can be said to provide some security to all its contributing members after they retire. However, that is not the situation. The very low pension earners seem to lose their security as the process of the annual pension increases make the higher earning pensioners widen the economic gap between the two groups. That's a cause for concern. The retirement income security of these low pension earners become weakened. And unless the system is able to apply the social security principle of solidarity to effectively redistribute the pot of annual calculated pension increases to leverage these low pension earners, the social security scheme would have been deemed to have failed to in certain aspects, not in all aspects, but in certain aspects. The research work to be presented today by the African Center for Retirement Research is a modest attempt at a new method of redistribution of the pension indexation, an expected policy change of the one that is currently operating at SSNIT. To effectively redistribute indexation is a difficult proposition, considering the fact that it involves multiple and conflicting goals and objectives. These require models that involve multiple optimization processes. This research actually uses an optimization technique to achieve results of establishing some balance between benefits, adequacy, and sustainable financing. This, I believe, should mark the beginning of a useful stakeholder engagement and discussions on finding an alternative method of pension indexation. The aim must be to improve the income security of the low-earning pensioners, and thus minimize old age poverty among pensioners. At this point, I would like to invoke the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 17, which says that we should strengthen means of implementation and revitalizing the global partnership for sustainable development. And this is a direct appeal to the other partners, fundings, people, that the African Center is, for retirement research, is calling on all development partners and funding agencies to also support our activities so that we can make maximum impact. This way, we can do more research for discussion and improvement of the Social Security scheme in Ghana. It is of interest to know that SSNIT is doing everything possible to improve and provide Social Security to all. This week, SSNIT has embarked on what it calls its Mobile Service Week for the year 2025. This is something they do every year since 2009 to try and reach out to the public, to make sure that they bring themselves to the public so that they can interact with them, listen to them, and help them so that they can improve the social system. This is usually led by the Director General and almost all the staff so that they can react to the people. We are saying that and this is a very important operational strategy, which I think we should laud SSNIT for doing. We at the African Center for Retirement Research also wishes to support the pension and social security system in Ghana by contributing expert knowledge through research that will improve the effectiveness of the pension indexation policy. This will enhance the income security of the low-earning pensioners and also support the sustainability of the SSNIT scheme. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Odum. I mean, SSNIT is not doing badly, but really pensions in Ghana is just small. And I don't know. It is small. So I think that we're happy to have so much, not just small research, but we're really happy with what you're doing at the ACRR, because I know that if you kept doing more research, it would definitely take us places. And I've come back to that same crisis for me again. I may have to introduce you last, but by no means the least, to give a few comments before we jump into the presentation. So please join me, put our hands together for our board member, Madame Victoria Atego. She's going to make a few comments.
Thank you. So my name is Victoria Alibu, not Atibu. All right, so you mentioned rightly that pensions is everybody's business. For us who are in the industry, it is both our business as individuals who are working and also our business as people who are securing the retirement income of people who are working. And so it is always an important conversation for us, and wherever pension is being discussed, we want to, as much as possible, not only influence what is discussed, but also give important input so that we know that the discussion is as balanced as possible and is reflecting the views of what we experience on a daily basis doing the work that we do. And so we are happy to be here as trustees and as the Chamber of Pension Trustees. What we know is that we all contribute to both TS1 and TS2, which are mandatory. And so whatever happens to Tier 1 must be of importance to us, because for us also as private players, it is based on some of this information that we are able to develop additional product to see how we offer retirement diversification to members or to our contributors. And so we are happy to be here. We are happy to participate in this exercise. We are all ears to listen. I've seen some of the recommendations. I read through them. We are all ears to listen to the presentation, and we are happy to provide further insight and input to make the conversation a lot richer. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks for the
JYTV News. Keep watching JYTV every